hello, everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on YouTube. We'll be joining Oldies and More radio beginning at midnight tonight, although we're going to get done early probably tonight. Got about 52:45s I pulled out. Didn't really have enough time, but I got to welcome you to the September 30th, 2023 Vinyl Treasure Show. I couldn't do a lot of things yesterday because of the rain and because of the flooding, so I couldn't get over to because I bought a new car. Finally bought a new car, but what a disaster today. So I bought the new 2024 Honda. It's an HR-V LX. I wanted the bigger one. I wanted the CR-V, but it wouldn't fit in the garage. It was too long. So they had more bells and whistles on that one, and I was going to buy it for cash. So I said, look, I got to test drive this because I'm used to Cadillacs and Park Avenues. I'm not used to, and I got to admit, it had a nice ride to it. So Barbara and I were driving around in it with the guy, George. I have to thank George for that. He was a pretty nice salesman. I have to thank him for that. But and he showed me how everything works. I got to play around with it a little bit, but it smells like a new car. It's pretty cool. The only thing I'm not used to is it's got I guess because I could plug my phone into I have this big screen in the front, and evidently it's like a, it's an extender to your phone. It's like a computer screen kind of, and attached to the phone, and the Bluetooth works. So I was listening. He goes, "You can listen to your show," because I told him about my show. He subscribed to the show, so he says you can listen to your show in the car. So I plugged it in and I connected, and it's the show sound. I was like, holy moly, the sound quality was excellent. Maybe is the sound quality good on YouTube? It probably is, but the record sounded great. I was listening to the Wednesday night show, so I couldn't pick the car up yesterday. All the roads were flooded here in New York, so no matter how I had to get to Yonkers, it was Yonkers Honda. So whatever. I got there today around 11:30. Didn't get out of there. It was about an hour and a half by the time I had to wait for the guy to pay all this and that. Showed me all the deal, and then some of the roads were still closed. But we had no food in the house. So I had to go grocery shopping for my parents. So I was able to get all the requests except 3 of them. One for Adrian, but I have a replacement. One for Matey, I couldn't find it, and I played it in 2016. And another one for Bill Olb, because I didn't have time to look through 8 boxes of H records. But I got all the rest of the requests, so I apologize for being late, but I was going to cancel the show tonight. I really was. So because I got to do other things, I got to change the Sirius XM. I gotta do the Easy Pass. There's a couple things I gotta do. Not only that, but other things. Pain in the neck to sell the lacrosse. So I got a deal with Carvana, and they were, take a picture of the speedometer without the check engine light. I says, okay. They're giving me decent money for the car with a check engine light on, but I'm not paying $8,975 for a hybrid battery. Are you kidding? No way, not in a 2014. But anyway, enough of my babbling here. So we opened up tonight with an instrumental. This is by request for Brian Korn. I don't know if Brian Korn is in the chat room or not. Didn't see him. But it's actually a B-side to a novelty tune, and maybe Record Hound Darren, the other side of this record, was called Russian Bandstand. Russian Bandstand by, it was, who were the group? Spencer and Spencer, that's the name of it. But Spencer and Spencer they were Dickie Goodman and Mickey Shore. And of course, Goodman was famous for his novelty break-ins with Buchanan and Goodman. Shore was Shore was I think he was a Detroit disc jockey, if I'm not mistaken. But we opened up from March '59, Spencer and Spencer, Brass Whale, on the Argo record label, as requested by listener Brian Korn in Wisconsin. And there you go, on the Argo record label. The flip side is Russian Bandstand. Well, anyway, enough of my babbling here. Let's start it off here with an up-tempo dance tune. And Kenny Mack sent me an email, and it took him a few days to figure out, oh, Johnny, you already played the Merengue for Adrian Viterbo. I said, well, that was El Merengue, and that was from 1961. You're requesting a record from, March of 1958, so that is definitely a different record. So, and I have it on two labels, Scat Records, and I wasn't going to play the Scat label because it's not as clean as my J&S, but it's different. It sounds a little different. The times are different. We'll talk about it after I play it. But it's a dance. This is for Kenny Mack. It's on Zell Sanders' Scat label. That's the first label. I said it was issued also on J&S Records. The group is from Yonkers, New York, where I bought my Honda. There you go. And it's the group's only release with the Chi-Tone 5, which is mentioned on the Scat release. And which was a Zell Sanders house band. The lead singer on this is Ronnie Baker. This is by request for Kenny Mack, and he wants to send it out to all you UK dancers out there, so Intruders and all the guys and gals. March 58, the Bell Tones on the Scat label. This is for Kenny Mack. It's called, on this one, it's called The Merengue for Kenny.
Let me show you how to do it. Merengue, let me show you how to do it.
Shake, 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 merengue. I say,
let me show you how to do it.
swing to the left, swing to the right. You rock, 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 merengue on that. Come on and jump, 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 merengue. Well, shake, 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 merengue. I say,
let me show you how to do it.
well, rock, rock to merengue. Roll, 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 merengue. Jump, 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 merengue. Come on and shake, 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 merengue. I say,
let me show you how to do it. Merengue.
shake, 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 merengue. I say,
let me show you how to do it.
listen now, real song, nice and low. Gonna rock it just a minute. Easy, real song. Come on now.
Let me show you how to do it.
Well, let's rock, merengue. Roll, 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 merengue. Jump, 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 merengue. Well, shake, 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 merengue. I say,
Let me show you how to do it.
well, rock, merengue. Roll, 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 merengue.
There you go. That's by request for Kenny Mack there. That's the sound of the Bell Tones. March 1958. That one there on Zell Sanders' Scat record label. That is the first press for that. Showed you the J&S release there. Ronnie Baker, the lead singer on that. Now, interesting thing about it is this, the Scat release is 2 minutes and 34 seconds. And you heard that talking there? There was a little bit of talking there toward the end of it, because the J&S release is only 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So there's 24 seconds missing there from the JNS release there. So anyway, and it sounds a little bit different. It's probably a different cut, but it's very similar. Very similar. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on there. Got to say hello to a couple people that came into the chat room there. But let's continue here. You know, we count down the music chronologically here on the 50s and early 60s edition. And let's open up here from September 1952 for this group out of Chicago. This is a request for Amnon. This is their second of 7 on Leonard Allen's United label, United Records, also out of Chicago. Now, the members of this group were Thomas Braden, Eddie Chambly, William Shorty Hill, Paul Lindsay Holt, Floyd McDaniel. Collectively, they were known, is that 4? Is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. So how come they were called? Well, Charlene, that's 5. How come they were called the Four Blazes? But anyway, this is from September 52. This tune, a song written by Jimmy Forrest, who did it first, also on the United label back in 1951, but this is from September 52, the Four Blazes on United for Amnon and their rendition of the tune, Night Train.
Night train that took my baby so far away. Night train that took my baby so far away. Tell her I love her more and more every day. My mother said I'd lose her if I ever did abuse her. Should have listened. Night train. My mother said I'd lose her if I ever did abuse her. Should have listened. Night train. Now I have learned my lesson. My sweet baby was a blessing. Should have listened. Night train. Your whistle tore my poor heart in two. Night train. Your whistle tore my poor heart in two. She's gone, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, it's blue Monday morning. She left me last Saturday night. Yes, it's blue Monday morning. She left me last Saturday night. Every time I hear trains blow, I get the blues, can't sleep at night.
Night train, please bring my baby back home to me. Night train, please bring my baby back home to me. She's gone, the blues she left just won't set me free. Night train.
So we open up from 1952, September 52, the second of 7 for the Four Blazes. That one there on United Records, their rendition of the tune Night Train by request for listener Amnon. And let's stay in 1952 with this request from Mike Sape. I saw Mike Sape, didn't say hello there. We'll say hello to Mike Sape listening in Connecticut. And he wants to send this one out to Tony Crosby in the UK and also to Intruders in the UK and all the UK dancers. Now, back in 1976, that was the year I graduated from high school. It was the bicentennial year, and the General Motors plant was set up in North Tarrytown, New York, and they decided to have this humongous flea market. I mean, they had 1,500 dealers. The parking lot was gigantic there. So, of course, 1976, I was a senior in high school, so I said, this is going to be great looking for 45s. Well, it was great looking for 78s, too, because I think I picked up about 145s and 70, together, about 100 records. Really cheap, though, 10 cents and 25 cents. And one of the songs that I found, but it was on a 78. He went to Sleepy Hollow High School, the same high school that I went to, and he had this next song on a 78, because that's how it first came out. They were all 15 cents, and they were in pretty nice shape, too, so I bought them all. And I eventually picked up the 45, but 45 was pressed later, but it originally came out in July of 52. This gal, she's from Harlem, New York. She was crippled from birth, and, of course, that never stopped her from having a successful singing career. This is her 5th of 15 releases on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy record label. This is by request from Mike Sape, going out to Tony, Intruders, and all the UK dancers. July 52, Varetta Dillard. Varetta Dillard on Savoy. It's called Them, Their Eyes. Johnny G getting caught here. I'm trying to make sure I have all the all the hellos in there. Anyway, there you go, Varetta Dillard. I like that jump tune. I think it's pretty cool. I do. July 1952. That's Varetta Dillard there, her 5th release on the Savoy label, Them Their Eyes. That's by request from Mike Sape in Connecticut. Going out to Tony Crosby, listening in the UK. Also, Intruders, a listen on the archive, and also the other UK dancers. And, of course, she had other releases, Groove Records, RCA, Cub, and I think other labels, too. Johnny G here. we're late. I apologize for being about 15 minutes late, but we're going to get done before we normally get done. But we move into the year 1953. This is a request for listener Mnon. It's on Sid Nathan's Federal record label, and this is Billy Ward and the Dominoes. This is their 13th release on the Federal label, written by lead singer Billy Ward. He's doing lead on this, and this tune was, I guess, inspired at the time by all the 3D movie craze. What do? You put those glasses on and it looked blurry to me. It didn't look 3D. I mean, you have to imagine, but it was better when you were looking in those, what do you call those, you get them at Disneyland, or they came out at Disneyland, where you put those little things on a round thing in it, and you flip it. Those look 3D in color. You know what I'm talking about. What did they call them? Somebody type it in the chat room. You'd look at it, you'd hold it up to the light, and you can put pictures of. There would be pictures of some kind of different countries or whatever, and they look 3D. But anyway, this is going out to Mnon, December 53. Billy Ward and his Dominoes on Federal with My Baby's 3D.
She's got it upstairs, she's got it downstairs, and she's got it on her balcony. That's why I call my Merengue gal, oh, my baby's 3D. She really can rock, she really can roll like a steamer on a stormy sea. Duck on your soul, gal, let it roll. Hey now, my baby's 3D. Oh, I don't need no glasses to see what she's putting down, 'cause when she starts to shake that thing, well, my love comes tumbling down. Well, I'm telling you guys, stop winking your eyes, 'cause I've got her under lock and key. Talk on your soul, gal, let it roll. Now my baby 3D. Now she's got it upstairs, and she's got it downstairs, and she's got it on a balcony. That's why I call mine Merengue gal. Hey now, my baby 3D. Yes, she really can rock. Crazy. She really can roll like a steamer on a stormy sea. Take your lady, daddy. Talk on your soul, gal, let it roll. Hey now, my baby's 3D. Oh, I don't need no glasses, no, not to see what she's putting down, 'cause when she starts to shake that thing, my love comes tumbling down. Well, I'm telling you guys, stop winking your eyes, 'cause I've got her under lock and key. Talk on your soul, gal, let it roll. Oh, now, my baby, 3D, 3D. Oh, my baby's 3D, 3D.
Yeah, sounding a little bit like 60-Minute Man. That's Billy Ward. Billy Ward on lead, maybe trying to sound like Bill Brown, the bass of the group there. December 53 on the Federal record banner, My Baby's 3D. That's Viewmaster. Thank you, all of you that answered Johnny G in the chat room there. And we had a Viewmaster here, and even when my parents used to go up to the Concord around January time with the Polish Society. They used to stay up there for the weekend. It was like a long weekend. They would come back with these, they'd take photographs, and you can go there and you can look in these. It was kind of like a little Viewmaster, hold it up to the light. Well, those pictures are good to have, bring back memories, but thank you all for reminding me. Let's move into 1954 now. This is a request for Daniel Kubacki. He's been requesting this group from Indianapolis, Indiana for the last few weeks. Last week, he requested their 4th of 8 on Randy Wood's label, Waiting Around for You. This week, he requested the group's 2nd release on Randy Wood's record label. This is the follow-up to Darling Dear. This one co-written by group member Robert Young. It features Chester Brown on lead. Let's go to May of 1954. Give a listen to The Counts. The Counts on the Dot label. It's called Baby Don't You Know for Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube chat.
Don't you know, baby, 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 don't you know? 'Cause I love you, baby. You're my one and only girl. I love you, baby. More than anything in the world, baby, don't you know I need you so? Baby, it's you I want to hold. Tell me why do you have to leave? Baby, don't you know I need you with me? Baby, don't you know? Baby, oh baby, don't you know? Love, love,
That's the great sound of The Counts. The Counts on Randy Wood's Dot record label by request for Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube chat room. That's their second release from May 1954, The Counts. Baby Don't You Know, that one there with Chester Brown on lead. I showed you a poster before. Did you see the poster? It was Dance. It was called Dance to the Music of the Galaxies, Dynamic Rock and Roll Stars. And you see the members of this group. I played a record last week on Guaranteed for Dan Sullivan Jr., who was the son of Danny Sullivan, was the lead singer of this group. And he sent this to me, and he also sent me a record. His father, I forget, the Knotts brothers, I think he was a member of that group, but it's 69. And I was in the process of getting the car, and I called him yesterday, and it was so great to talk to him. I had to thank him for sending me that poster. I am going to put it behind me here. I'm getting the studio ready for Bill Olb when he's here on October 16th for that special gospel special at 1 in the afternoon, 1 to 4. So be sure you tune in on that Monday, because I don't think I'm going to be doing the show this coming Monday. I may the next Monday, though. I may do that, and then we'll move the show after Bill's here. We'll move it to Thursdays at 1. That'll give me more time. But I got too much going on, and I'm trying. My mother's been helping me, like I said, file records. She was helping me last night, late. We filed like 4 boxes. She put them all in alphabetical order. I brought a table down. She just put them in piles. She was asking me about a couple things. Where do I put this? And she did a great job on it, folks. So I got to thank my mom for helping me. But anyway, let's continue here. Oh, by the way, if Dan Sullivan Jr. he was on his way to the Michigan State Iowa game. So I don't know if Michigan State beat Iowa today. I hope they did, because for Dan's sake, because he was a big Michigan State fan and driving there from Michigan. Yeah, yes he was. Anyway, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and let's go to the Bronx, New York, with this request for Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room. They had 7 releases on George Gollner's Rama record label. This is their 4th. Let me see. Do I want to say this, Charlene? I am totally unprepared for today's show, believe it or not. But let's see. I'm not playing Hey Girl, but evidently there were 2 alternate sides to the song Hey Girl by this group. One was called Love Something That Is Made for Two, and the other one is this request for Gordy Freeman. I guess we can put it that way. This song dates back to 1947 by Sammy Kaye. I think he did it first back in 1947, but this release is from November of 1955. They're called the Wrens. The Wrens on the Rama label, and it features Frenchie Concepcion on lead. And going out to Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room, the Wrens on Rama with Serenade of the Bells.
This is the story of 2 people in love. In the sleepy town of San Juanito, there's a story that a padre tells of a gay senor and senorita. That's the serenade of the bells. Seems they asked the padre for permission to be married early in the spring, but their folks had made just one decision, that the mission bells had to ring. Well, everyone knew the bells were broken and hadn't sounded for a long, long time. But one night the village was astounded, for the bells began to chime. Still the bells are broken, goes the story. But if in your heart a new love dwells, they will ring for you and all their glory. That's the serenade of the bells. That's the serenade of the bells.
As Baruch was for Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room, those are the Wrens. The Wrens from November 1955, George Goldner's Rama record label, Serenade of the Bells. Interesting thing, I have 3 copies of this record. I have 2 really nice copies and one not so, one West Coast press is not so nice. I didn't test the West Coast press, but the other 2 copies I have, they, at the end of the record, there's like a, it's not a scratch, it's like a, if you have this record, check at the end of the record. You heard that little, a couple ticks way at the end. Is this like a Stone Mint copy? Brian, this is Norm's copy, and I even have another one that's mint, and it still plays with that little tick at the end. But listen, it's nice shape. I'm not going to argue with that. Johnny G here on a Saturday. If you're new to the program, just finding out about the show, why don't you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Also, click the bell to get all notifications when Johnny G goes live. I was late today. I apologize for that. But in lieu of me not doing the show at all, you wouldn't have had your dose of Johnny G for a while. But let's continue here. We are in 1955. Now, this is a request for Record Hound in our YouTube chat room, a.k.a. Darren. And he knew that I was having car woes, so he wanted to send out this record to me. This artist, originally from Atkinson. Is it Atkinson? How is it that? Atchison, Kansas. And you know him as Jesse Stone, as a band leader. Began in the late 1940s and the mid 1950s for recording for RCA Victor Records, also for Atlantic and various labels, and behind so many great records, R&B, Group Harmony Records. But he also had releases on his own. He used Chuck Charles or Charlie Calhoun as an alias. And I think that was the alias, right, Charlene? I didn't double check. And on this one, he's known as Charlie Calhoun and his orchestra. This one came out in April of 1955 on the MGM record label. And it's called I Don't Know, that's in parentheses, Why the Car Won't Go. This is by request for Darren, sending it out to your host, Johnny G.
Well, I don't know why the car won't go. I don't know why the car won't go. If I had me an axe and a roll of tape, I'd put this thing right back in shape. But I don't know why the car won't go. Oh, well, I beat on the hood, and the thing won't start. It can't be the gas, I just got a quart of water and oil. I don't need none, cause it's been running good since 31. Oh, well, I hit me a tree, a tire went flat, 10 famous are due, I know it ain't that, I turned over twice, now the top is loose, just 10 or 20 wrecks, that's no excuse. I thought I had me a real good car. It ain't been washed or repaired so far. I paid $20. I thought it was a fool. I should have saved my dough and bought me a mule. Well, I don't know why the car won't go. I don't know why the car won't go. Now the horn won't blow I want another ride before it falls all apart. But I don't know why the car won't go.
There you go. That's by request for Darren, a.k.a. Record Hound, in our YouTube chat. I'm sending it out to your host, Johnny G. Charles Calhoun and his orchestra, April 1955 release. It's on the MGM record label. I don't know why the car won't go. Well, I did know. I mean, I had a check engine light on for probably the whole year. It just needed inspection. This is a 2014 Buick LaCrosse. Of course, the car only had 17,350 miles on it. That is unheard of, which is why Carvana's giving me so much money for the car. And they're gonna put in a new hybrid. Do not get a hybrid. If you do, just make sure you use it, because if you don't use the car, the cells die in the battery, and the transmission it'll fail on inspection. So they were gonna finagle with it. I said, don't finagle with it. I says, I'm not getting a new battery. That's it. Forget it. And they said, you want to get an electrical car? No way. I don't use the car anymore. If I was going back and forth to Newark, it's a different story. They were trying to sell me today. It was interesting because I didn't want to have any extra add-ons. I said, look, I'm buying the car at cash. That's it. Don't ask. Well, we can give you 6 years for... I said, 6 years for what? And then you can pay us in advance if you need repair. I said, that doesn't sound right. I'm not doing it. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. I apologize. Let's continue here. Actually, I have 3 records by the Wrens in block, the 1955 block. Those of you that are new to the program, I play my records by year on the 50's show. So we are in the year 1955, and last week I played a request for Kenny Mack. He requested Come Back My Love by the Wrens. And this is a flip side here that I'm featuring, because the flip side is excellent. Bobby Mansfield was on lead for Come Back My Love, but this is the B-side. It's an excellent ballad written by the baritone of the group Frenchy Concepcion, who's also doing lead on this great group from the Bronx, the Wrens, from January 55. The flip side of Come Back My Love. It's called Begging for Love on the Rama label.
Well, I'm begging for love. Ooh.
I looked around and everything near me, all that I need is someone to cheer me. Who can it be, and what can I do if I must go begging for love? Day by day I hear myself saying that you're the one for which I am praying. Who can it be, and what can I do if I must go begging for love? On the night that we parted, our love was meant to be, and now I have started to go on
Begging for your love.
Oh, day by day I hear myself saying that you're the one for which I am praying. Who can it be, and what can I do if I must go begging for love? On the night that we parted, our love was meant to be, and now I back to me. I'm sad and so lonely. I want you near to call you my only. Who can it be? And what can I do if I must go begging for love? If I must go begging for love.
That's the great sound of the Wrens there. That's a B-side to Come Back My Love. Beggin' for Love is the name of that tune. That's from January 55. George Goldner's Rama Records. I collect the Rama label, as who asked me about Doodah Dave's. I have about well, and they're not all 50s and early 60s records because I collected labels. I ran labels up until probably the mid-1980s. So a lot of my dealers that would sell to me, I'd buy, four-figure 45s from them constantly, but they had a lot of other records that they would sell to me for dollars and into the 60s. So I just wanted every number, so they'd be either $1 or 50 cents or sometimes even less than that. They would give me a deal, like, they'd come out to like 30 cents each. But I would buy, they would mail them to the house. My father had a fit, and at one point it was like, and Brian Korn could attest to this, that he was like, Johnny, maybe you need to get a P.O. box, not to let your father see the record. He goes, you're going to destroy this house with the records. Where are you putting them? So the basement is full. The no humidity basement is full of records, as is up here where I broadcast, as is my old bedroom, as is my current bedroom and closet. So that's why sometimes I can't find your requests. So today I had no time to look for them. That was the problem. But anyway, you're asking about any other questions, just type them in the chat room. I'll answer them. But there you go, the great Wrens. They will return after this next record. Oh, by the way, Frankie Concepcion, he would become the lead singer of The Travelers that recorded for the Atlas label. You may know the song called Lenora, but under the name of Frank Lopez. That's a great record. I almost pulled it out to play in the opener, but we'll listen to it sometime soon. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. Here's a request for listener Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room as we head to Philadelphia, PA. Not much known about this group, though. I'm sure many of you that own this 45 have the release on Jerry Blaine's Josie label, but it first came out on Jenny Daughtery's, Daughtery, if I said it right, Genty Records. And the fidelity is much better on this release than it is on the Josie release, that is for sure, because it was pressed by RCA. But the group is called The Five Notes with the Hamiltones, probably the instrumental group. So this is from 1955. It's going out to Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room. The Five Notes with the Hamiltones on the Gen D, Gen space D label. The song is called You Are So Beautiful.
You are so beautiful. You are a dream divine. But there's a danger sign. I can see deep within. Since you are beautiful, and I am such a fool, you simply make the rule. How can I ever win? I know I am a dreamer to think you would give in. Oh, helpless, wishful dreamer who knew long ago this should not have been. But you're so beautiful. touch my hand, I'm in a wonderland, back in the same old spin. I know I am a dreamer, to think you would give in. Oh, helpless, wishful dreamer, who knew long ago this should not have been. But you're so beautiful, and when you touch my hand, I'm in a wonderland, back in the same old space.
That's by request for Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room. Those are the 5 notes. The 5 notes from 1955. Featured it on the Jendi label versus the Josie label. A lot of those are grainy presses and they play kind of muddy, but the RCAs play nice. You Are So Beautiful is the name of the tune. I remember Spence brought that over to me. Spence, the late Spence Wooten. I miss Spence. He really left a hole in my record collecting, I will tell you that much. He used to bring records to me every week. Every week he would drive from New Jersey, and he was over by Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, and he would bring me boxes of records. He'd go, "Here, Johnny, they're all priced. You can play them on your set, and then let me know which ones you want. If you want to talk about the prices, I can make deals on it." He was great. He really was. I miss him a lot. I do. Johnny G here on a Saturday. If you're new to the program here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Nobody does this. I take requests. If you have requests, you can send them to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. But don't send me hits, because if you send me a hit, YouTube will shut me down. They will shut me down. They do. A lot of these records are not hits, although they still have copyright that they're allowing me to play them. But sometimes they don't. When I do my Wednesday night show and I play the 1960s soul records, they sometimes shut me down. After a couple hours, they're like, "Wait a minute, we're going to give you a little bit of leeway, but then we're going to shut you down." And they do it, and it's a pain, because then sometimes they let it post up and sometimes they don't. But I have no choice. My hands are tied dealing with YouTube. If I had my own platform, it would be different, but I can't play Beatles or Elvis. I'd love to play that. Buddy Holly, forget it. If I play Buddy Holly, they'll ban me. Right, Brian Korn? What can I play? No Norva Jack Publishing, or forget about it. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and here is the third Wrens 45 here that I'm featuring, this great group from the Bronx, New York. This is by request for Mike Sape. Wants to send it out, I think, to me and all the listeners, all of you listening in chat. Mike Sape, great listener out of Connecticut. And again, Bobby Mansfield and the Wrens. We go to George Gallner's Rama record label. And actually, I think this was Bobby Mansfield's favorite song. It's with Jimmy Wright and the orchestra, December 1955. The Wrens on the Rama label. It's called I Won't Come to Your Wedding, for Mike Sape.
I won't come to your wedding, it would only hurt my pride. All our friends know you've left me for the one now at your side. They all know I still love you, and when they play Here Comes the Bride, they'll turn to me and stare. Will be so hard to bear. I'm returning the invitation you sent me, with my heart and a tear and a sigh. I won't come to your wedding,
but I wish you happiness, and I'll just say good luck and goodbye. And I'll just say good luck and goodbye. And goodbye. And goodbye. And goodbye.
That's the sound of Bobby Mansfield and the Wrens. That one there on George Golner's Rama Records, December 55 release. By request from Mike Sape, sending it out to all the listeners in chat. Johnny G here on a Saturday. We are moving into the year 1956. Now, last week, I played a request for listener Bob Cruz, this group from New Haven, Connecticut. They were known as the Starlarks. And I played the flip side of this 45 called Send Me a Picture Baby. Well, maybe that was the A side. I'm not sure. But Al Silver's Ember Records would pick this up in January of 57, but it first came out in September 57 on the local Elm label, which is styrene. You know Johnny G hates styrene, but this is really a nice copy, and I think I mentioned to you that I had trouble taking out the metal centerpiece in this record, because maybe that's why some people, didn't want to, buy it, but it was a buy it now. It was like, holy moly, nice copy of this. I'm going to pick it up. It doesn't play as well as the nice promos on Ember, but it was a mint copy, and I hate styrene. A lot of my listeners know I hate styrene. But it first came out on the Elm label, and this is the side that I like, a song called The Fountain of Love. Let's go to September of 1956 for the Starlarks. The Starlarks on the first press, Elm Records. It features Wes Forbes on lead, and the song is called The Fountain of Love.
The fountain, the fountain, the fountain of love. The fountain, the fountain, the fountain of love. I met my angel from heaven above, and said she left me. I'm in misery. I'm in misery. Oh, come to the fountain of love. Oh, please, my angel from heaven above.
Those are the Starlarks. The Starlarks out of New Haven, Connecticut, played it on a green label styrene 45. There you go. And you can get this on Ember Records. Came out in January 57, but first came out September 56. The Starlarks, West Forbes and the Starlarks on Elm, the Fountain of Love. And we're looking for the Fountain of Youth. That is what we're all looking for. Wouldn't it be great if we were young again? It's no fun getting old. I know many of you can attest to that, although we do have some young listeners in the chat room, so they don't realize it yet, but I definitely do. As we continue here in 1956, I didn't see Rick and Philly. It was Rick and Philly in there. I might have missed him, but this is a request for Rick and Philly as we go to Philadelphia, PA for this group. They were all in high school when they formed. They were called The Notes. Now, their first release came out on the Capitol record label in January of 56. This was their second release. This was their follow-up that came out on MGM Records. It features Ray McElwain on lead, and I think he's the same guy that has a record on the Allison label, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that. Somebody had that listed on eBay to sell. Was it Don Folletti? Did he have that? Ray McElwain and was it the Twilighters, I think? Which is a good record, too, when Greg sold it to me. But this is from September 56. These are The Notes on MGM Records, going out to Rick in Philly. It's called Round and Round for Rick. Going out to Rick in Philly, the sound of The Notes. Ray McElwain, did I even say it right? McElwain on lead, September 1956 on the MGM record label, Round and Round. I think the flip is good on this too, if I'm not mistaken, but that's for Rick in Philly. Let's stay in 1956 with this request for listener Edmund Williams in our YouTube chat room, as today is Frankie Lyman's birthday. Charlene couldn't really pinpoint his age. Maybe he would have been about 80 or 81 today, maybe. I think she said. I'm not sure. I'm sure some of you in the chat room know how old maybe Frankie Lymon would have been today, but he definitely left us too soon, was unfortunate. But this was his follow-up to Why Do Fools Fall in Love? And it's interesting, I think this is the first press. It says The Teenagers featuring Frankie Lymon, like on my other, and I have multiple copies of this record. Of course, it says Frankie Lymon and The Teenagers on the other presses, but I think this is the first press where it says The Teenagers featuring Frankie Lymon. I'll show it to you again. But this is the intended A-side. This was a national hit for Frankie Lymon and the Teenagers, as was Why Do Fools Fall in Love, number 13 on Billboard, number 3 on the R&B chart, number 3 on, well, this is kind of backwards, Charlie, number 6 on Cashbox, okay, number 1 on WJR in Detroit, Michigan, again with Jimmy Wright and the orchestra. This is George Gulner's G record label, March 56, Frankie Lymon and the Teenagers. No, it really says The Teenagers featuring Frankie Lymon. This is for Edmund Williams in our YouTube chat room. It's called I Want You to Be My Girl.
Pe 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 pom dooby doo wop. Pom dooby doo wop. Pom dooby doo.
By request for Edmund Williams in our YouTube chat room. That's The Teenagers featuring Frankie Lymon on lead. That is the intended A-side. March 1956. That's the follow-up to Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I Want You to Be My Girl. That's on George Gulner's G record label, and had been also requested the flip side. So I'm going to flip this 45 over in a few. I will. But I'm sure, Marvin, you know, was Alan Freed was definitely playing that record. I'm pretty sure he was playing that when he was on Wins at the time. And I'm sure many of you heard that or that were listening back in 1956. I was not yet born, but then I knew about the record as a young kid. I always liked Frankie Lymon and the Teenagers. Let's stay in 1956 with this request for Mike Sape. Wants to send this one out to listeners. Jimmy Amato. I didn't see Jimmy Amato in the chat room, but we're hoping that Jimmy is doing well, feeling better. And also Joe Shacatano in our YouTube chat room. As the lead singer of this group, previously sang lead with the Four Buddies on the Savoy record label. He then became the lead singer of this group, known as the Dappers. And this is their only release on the RCA subsidiary Groove Records. His name is Larry Harrison. Larry Harrison. We go to May of 1956 by request for Mike Sape in Connecticut, sending it out to Jimmy Amato and Joe Shacatano. The Dappers on Groove. It's called Unwanted Love.
You hurt me so because you know I love you so.
I just can't find a way to your heart. I love you so, though you want no part. If you can't love me, why don't you set free this unwanted love? Unwanted love. I need you so, but somehow I know my aching heart should let you go. But I can't lose you, live I have chose to with unwanted love. Ooh. I know I'll love you for a lifetime, even if you're never all mine. And if you should ever feel you're unhappy, well, you know you can come back to me. Although another can't love you as I hope you'll be happy. This is goodbye, goodbye, my darling, for I can only bring unwanted love to unwanted love.
That is a great tune there. Larry Harrison on lead and the Dappers there. That was a by request from Mike Sape going out to Joe Shacatano and Jimmy Amato, May 1956, on Groove Records, Unwanted Love. Great tune there. And there was a second Dappers group that recorded for the Rainbow label, which included some of these members, but a different lead singer. And that lead singer was Gregory Carroll on that Dappers on Rainbow. Johnny G here on a Saturday. I apologize for being late, but hope you're digging on the tunes. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like what you hear, please give me a thumbs up and tell your friends about it. And again, if you have a request, send it to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Also, thank you all for all your emails. I love corresponding with you all and also talking with you all on the phone. That's all pretty cool to do, and it's really the thing that we like to do, and it's enjoyable. So thank you thank you all for being here tonight as we continue. And we go out to California now. We stay in 1956. Actually, we head out to Los Angeles, California with this request for Bill Olb. I was able to find Bill this one, but I couldn't find the Hollywood Aristocrats. I have it. It's in my H-box, but I didn't have time to look for it when I got home today. Of course, Bill Olb will be joining me on October 16th, 2023 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in the afternoon till 4. The preview is up on my YouTube page. You can go to the live tab and you can click reminder so you get a reminder when I go live. It should send you an email or notify you somehow. But Bill will be presenting a special gospel show, not the normal gospel shouters and screamers, whatever. It is really vocal group harmony at its best. You want to tune into that show. You will be impressed. You will. That's all I will say. But this is a request for Bill Olb. We go out to Los Angeles to John Dolphin's Cash record label. And did he write this, Charlene? You said John... No, you said Jay... Is Jay... I don't know, Charlene, if it is. But anyway, this group consisted of Willie Henderson, Haydel Mitchell, George Parker, Howard Watson, Tommy Williams, and the lead singer on this side, Jesse Belvin. Collectively, they were known as the Gassers. And this is from May of 1956. This is a record that was pushed by Hunter Hancock out in California. It was unfortunate that, John Dolphin didn't promote these 45s here on the East Coast. And shame on him for not doing that. But this features Jesse Belvin on lead. This is going out to listener Bill Olb. He requested this May 56, the Gassers on Cash. It's called Hum. Wait, that's not right, Charlene. You got it wrong. It's called Hum Dee Dum.
Well, hummity dum. Well, hummity dum. Dear one, you're so divine, and I'm so glad that you are mine. You're the one I adore. I'll never, never, ever let you go. Oh, 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 hummity dum, sweet thing, like the way you smile at me. Every time that you do, my heart goes boom, boom-a-de-boom. You're so soft, so warm. Please let me hold you in my arms. Oh, 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 hummity-dum. Your eyes are so inviting. Your lips are so exciting. Well, hummity dum. You're the one I adore. I ain't never gonna let you go. Oh, 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 hummity dum. Well, now hummity-dum-de-dum. You're so soft, so warm. Please let me hold you in my arms. Oh, 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 hummity-dum. Now hum.
As by request for Bill Obe there, the sound of the Gassers there. That's featuring Jesse Belvin on lead, May 1956. On John Dolphin's Cash record label, Hum Dee Dum is the name of the tune. They'd have one more release in 57 on the Encino label, but without Jesse Belvin as a member there. I have that 45 also, by the way. Johnny G here on a Saturday. Let's continue here. And up next, a request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room, as this singer, a native New Yorker, and he was 25 years old when he recorded this song, his first of two on Sid Nathan's King record label. And normally Wishing Well is the side that gets played, but this is the flip side. The flip side. Timothy requested the flip side. And it's interesting because it says, excuse me, says vocal by Jerry Dorne with quartet. So it doesn't really mention who the group is, but they are the Hurricanes who are backing them up. They also recorded for the King record label. Let's go to June of 1956. Give a listen to Jerry Dorne and the Uncredited Hurricanes by request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room. It's on King Records. It's called Sentimental Heaven. Bom, 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 bom.
Dear, when we kiss, I'm in a sentimental heaven. Each kiss is bliss here in my sentimental heaven. I'm blue with loneliness, I run to you in your caress, I rendezvous. And when we dance, each step is sentimental heaven. For I'm entranced by all your charms. Oh, it's heavenly, my heart and I agree. It's sentimental heaven, right here in your arms. Yes, it's heavenly, my heart and I agree. It's sentimental heaven, right here in your arms. Sentimental heaven.
That's by request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room. That's the first of two on Sid Nathan's King label for Jerry Dorne and the Uncredited Hurricanes backing him up. That's the flip side of Wishing Well. It's called Sentimental Heaven from June of 1956. Hopefully Johnny G keeping you in music heaven here on a Saturday. We're here from 9 p.m., although it's 9:15 till midnight Eastern time. We'll do a little bit of overtime tonight. We will, and I still think we'll be done by before 1 a.m. in the morning. Yes, we will. But let's continue here. We are in 1956. This is a request for UK listener Indrajit Advani as we go back out to California and back to John Dolphin's Cash record label. The interesting thing about this 45 is that each side of this is done by a different group. And one side says the Turks, and that was Gaynell Hodges' group, the Turks. and he's lead on the flip side here called It Can't Be True, which is a good song. And Indrajit requested the flip side, which says the original Turks, but in reality, they are the Hollywood Flames. And this song was recorded with the group's first session that took place on September 4th of 1954, and that group included Donald Ford, Gaynell Hodge, Clyde Tillis, and the lead singer on this, Bobby Bird. And this is actually a cover tune dating back to 1934. It was from a movie, if anybody has ever saw the movie called Wagon Wheels. I have not. Must be a good movie. I like to see it. It's from July. When do I have time to watch a movie? I don't. But it's from July 1956 by request for UK listener Indrajit Advani, the original Turks, a.k.a. the Hollywood Flames, with Bobby Bird on lead and their rendition of the tune Wagon Wheels.
Well, there's a wagon wheel, baby, there's a little bitty wagon wheel. Oh, keep on rolling away, wagon wheel. Oh, roll along, baby, we'll sing a little song, and then carry me over the hill. Oh, roll on, mule, there's a steamer at the landing, just waiting for the cotton to roll, then we'll roll on the mule, 'cause the boss is understanding. There's a pasture at the end of each road. Oh, wagon wheel, baby, there's a little bitty wagon wheel. Keep on rolling away, wagon wheel. Roll along, sing a song. Oh, wagon wheel carries me home. Well, roll on, mule. Yes, streamers at the landing, just waiting for the cotton to roll, then we'll roll on, mule. Well, boss is understanding. There's a pasture at the end of each road. Oh, wagon wheel, baby, there's a little bitty wagon wheel. Keep on rolling away, wagon wheel. Oh, roll along, sing a song. Oh, wagon wheel carries me home.
As going out to UK listener Indrajit Advani. There you go, the original Turks, a.k.a. the Hollywood Flames, there with Bobby Bird on lead. July 56 release on the Cash label. Wagon Wheels is the name of the tune. I don't have wagon wheels on my new car. Rides pretty nice. I had to put the seat back a little bit. I was a little worried because, I got long legs, but I was able to, and I'm so used to everything electric. So this had manual things. I got to move it back, but that's okay. That's okay. Johnny G needs to exercise as much as I can as we continue here. And here is a request for Gordy Freeman. This one will go back to George Golner's Rama record label. Now, in May of 1956, Raul Sita, pianist and arranger for the great Harptones, put together a Royale Sita chorus, which consisted of like three groups that he rehearsed, which the Harptones, the Joy Tones, and another group called the Lyrics, who never ever recorded except as part of the chorus. And this included like a dozen singers, and first recorded on the Joy Tones releases on Rama, and like Gee What a Boy, and also They backed up Mabel King on Symbol of Love. And then in August of 1956, with this release, they backed up Willie Winfield and the Harptones. And it's a request for listener Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room from August of 56. The Great Harptones with Willie Winfield on lead on the Rama label, their first of 3 on Rama, by request for Gordy. It's called 3 Wishes.
When I awoke this morning, to me a voice did say,
make 3 wishes, my son,
for I will smile your way. My first wish is finding someone I can love, make her be an angel like the ones above. And if she is happy, make my next wish be that she is happy just because of me. Heaven, heaven, thank you for blessings from above. Most of all, I thank you for sending me her love. And if I may ask it, make my last wish be that we'll be together through eternity. We'll be together through eternity.
That's the great sound of the Harptones there, the late Willie Winfield on lead by request for Gordy Freeman in our YouTube chat room, August 1956, on George Goldner's Rama Records. 3 Wishes is the name of the tune. If we only had 3 wishes, really, and what would they be anyway? But let's stay with the George Goldner label. Let's go back to his G record label, this time for Edmund Williams. This is the flip side of I Want You to Be My Girl. He requested both sides of his the Teenager's second 45 on G Records for Frankie Lyman's birthday. Would have been today, September 30th. But this one here is the flip side of I Want You to Be My Girl, written by Buddy Kaye and Fred Spielman. And the song is called I Am Not a Know-It-All. This is for Edmund Williams.
I'm not a know-it-all. Don't know why the trees are tall. Don't know why there's morning dew. I only know that I love you. I'm not a know-it-all. Don't know why the raindrops fall. Don't know what's beyond the blue. I only know that I love you.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there by request for Edmund Williams, Frankie Lymon, and the Teenagers featuring Frankie Lymon on that first press. As the flip side of I Want You to Be My Girl, I'm Not a Know-It-All from March 1956. George Goldner's G record label. Well, I am a know-it-all when it comes to original presses. I can tell you that much. Maybe not original MP3s. Or maybe I can be because sometimes they're not the original records. But definitely on the 45s. I am a know-it-all. Johnny G here on a Saturday. We continue here. We move into 1957 for this request for listener Emnon, as this gal, she was just 5 feet tall. And Barbara's 5'1", so she's actually smaller than Barbara. And this gal was 5 feet tall and 250 pounds. Her real name was Othea Lee Moore, but she recorded as Tiny Topsy. She had 5 releases on Sid Nathan's King record label. Amnon requested her first, a tune written by Eddie Cooley, and she's being backed up by an uncredited vocal group. They're called The 5 Chances, as they also recorded at this time for Federal Records. I think Federal 12303. But, wait, Federal 12303, is that this one? No, that's the one right after this. So they were in the studio. This is 1302. The next release, 1303, was by The 5 Chances. So they were probably hanging around and they joined her. So this is from July 57, Tiny Topsy and the uncredited 5 Chances by request for Emnon. It's called Aw Shucks, Baby.
Shucks, baby, just made this my happy day. I've been biting on my nails, pulling out my hair. I just found out how much you care. Oh, shucks, baby, I didn't know you felt that way. Oh, shucks, baby, there'll be no more skies of gray. I was shaking as a lamb, afraid and stunned, but now I got your arms to keep me warm. Oh, shucks, baby, I didn't know you felt that way. I did it, Lord, holy cow, I'm gonna make you happy now. Holy Moses and Rudy too, you get a hold of my love and you can bet your boots. Oh, shucks, baby, you make everything seem so gay. Every face I see is all aglow since you put me in your heart and you locked the door. Oh, shucks, baby, I'm glad you felt that way. Shucks, baby, you make everything seem so gay. Every face I see is all aglow since you put me in your heart and you locked the door. Oh, shucks, baby, I'm glad you found that way. Oh, shucks, baby, I'm glad you felt that way.
As going out to listener Amnon there, that's Tiny Topsy and the uncredited 5 Chances. That's on Sid Nathan's Federal record label out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And July 57, Aw Shucks Baby is the name of the tune. Johnny G here on a Saturday as we count down the music chronologically here. We are in the year 1957. We go back out to Los Angeles, California, this time for listener Ronnie Sherman. Gotta say hello to Ronnie Ronnie Sherman tuned into the program here, and this is on the Bahari Brothers Modern record label. This group called the Cadets, a.k.a. the Jacks. It's their 12th of 14 releases on the Modern record label, and it gives a lead credit to the bass of the group. His name is Will Jones. This song goes back to 1935, and I don't know who did it first. Charlene's got here a 1935 song, but it's actually on the label. It says Will Jones and the Cadets, but I file it under my Cadets. It was funny, my mother was asking me, Johnny, where do you put Earl Lewis and the Channels? And I said, well, Ma, I don't put it under L because I know he was the lead of the Channels. Maybe you don't remember he was the lead of the Channels, but those go under the C. Similar to this would be under the C. So wherever you remember it, where the record will be when you go pull it out. That's how I have to think about it. But anyway, this is for Ronnie Sherman, August 57, The Cadets with Will Jones on lead on Modern Records, their rendition of the tune Hands Across the Table.
Hands across the table.
Hands across the table, while the lights are low. Though you hush your lips, your fingertips, tell me all I want to know. So hands across the table, meet so tenderly, and they say in their little way, you belong to me.
Hands across the table, meet so tenderly,
and they say in their little way, you belong to me.
hands across the table.
As going out to listener Ronnie Sherman there, the sound of the Cadets with the bass lead there. That's Will Jones, Will Dub Jones on lead there. August 1957, their rendition of the tune Hands Across the Table. That one there on the Modern record label. Let's go to Bakersfield, California with this next request for listener Joe Shacatano in our YouTube channel. Now, Joe, you probably thought I missed playing your request. Well, I did not, because originally this song came out on Larry Mead's Vita label. Actually, Vita Records was first known as Mambo Records, and then they changed it to Vita. Many, I think the reason why he went from Mambo to Vita was because it was people or DJs would have thought it was associated with Latin music, so he changed it to Vita Records, and this group would have 4 releases on the Vita label. Now, Joe requested the group's 4th, written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Joe Gundy. This record came out in April of '56, but it was re-released on Buck Ram's Antler label. It was actually the B-side to the, I forget which one, because I think their first of 2, maybe? I don't know. I know they have a couple on the label, but the A-side was called Chic of Araby, which came out in February 57. But the interesting thing about it is that the Antler release is longer. It's 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And I also have a promo that says 2 minutes and 43 seconds. But the Vita release is only, and my Vita is a little bit off center, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So where is the extra? So there's extra time on this one. So Joe Shacatano, check your MP3, see the time that you have on your, if you have the Vita CD, I bet you says or MP3, it says 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but the Antler is 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So I'm going to play you this one. This is from originally released in April 56, re-released as a B-side in February 57 on Buck Ram's Antler label. It's called Never No More with Joe Gundy on lead for Joe Shacatano.
Never, 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 ever. Never no more will you be lonely. You'll never have to cry. No, never no more. Forevermore, I love you only. I'll never say goodbye. No, never, no more. Never, no more. I know you never, ever need to feed your hungry heart again, because I'll never, no, I'll never, ever leave your arms again. Ooh, forevermore, I love you only. I'll never say goodbye. No, never, no more. Never, no more. I know you never, ever need to feed your hungry heart again, because I'll never, no, I'll never, ever leave your arms again. Ooh, forevermore, I love you only. I'll never say goodbye. No, never, no more. Never, no more.
As by request for Joe Shacatano in our YouTube chat room, that's Joe Gundy and the Colts. He wrote that tune. Never No More is the name of the tune. First released in April 56 on Larry Mead's Vita label. Then it was re-released as a B-side by Buck Ram on his Antler label, the flip side of Chic of Araby, and a longer version. I should compare those two and see where it changes, but there is definitely a big difference in the time. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and up next, a request for listener Mike Sape. Actually, Mike wants to send this one out to Johnny G and Lenny G in the YouTube chat room. This group first recorded as the Five Emeralds on the SRC record label, but they would change their name to the Downbeats. Now, on this particular release that came out on Don Roby's Peacock label, it lists Sonny Woods and the Downbeats. Now, Sonny is not on this record, but he was the tie to get this group to sign with Don Roby's Peacock record label, but Sonny Woods did write the song. Came out in July of 57. It features Norman McLean on lead. So let's give it a spin here from July 57. By request for Mike Sape, going out to Lenny G and Johnny G. Sonny Woods and the Downbeats, but it's really Norman McLean on lead. This is on Peacock Records. It's called Let's Go Steady.
Come on, let's go steady. Come on, you know I'm ready. Come on, please, baby, do. Come on, take my hand. Say I'm your lover man. Come on, please, baby, do. I told you that I love you 1,000 times or more. Don't keep me here in torture. Let me know, let me go, go, go. When we go out walking, you stop all the boys talking. Come on, please, baby, do. Come on, let's go steady. Come on, you know I'm ready. Come on, please, baby, do. Come on, take my hand. Hey, I'm your lover man. Come on, please, baby, do. Come on, come on.
There you go. That's on Don Robey's Peacock record label, July 57. Sonny Woods and the Downbeats there. Let's Go Steady is the name of the tune. Ed McLean on lead. Now, he was also the lead singer on other Peacock and, Tamla releases, Charlene? Which one on Tamla? I don't know. What group, Charlene? I don't know. But anyway, this Downbeats group would later in the 1960s evolve into the Elgins. They added a female lead, Sandra Edwards, a.k.a. Sandra Millette, and they recorded on the VIP record label Heaven Must Have Sent You eventually. That was later. That's like 10 years from now. This is 1957 from July, or 9 years, 66 maybe. Johnny G losing his mind. But let's continue here. Where's a Rockin' Ed when you need him as we go to the Star Day record label? But this is a request for listener David Browder. I saw David in our YouTube chat room. Hopefully he's still listening. And this is on a label not really known for a vocal group harmony, Star Day Records, which is mainly a country or rockabilly or bopper label. But this group, they hail from southern Missouri, first known as Froggy, Johnny G is Froggy, the Foggy River Boys, but they changed their name to the Marksmen. And this tune written by Joe Grizel. I have some records by Joe Grizel, some singles. And Joe Grizel was the father of rockabilly singer Rudy Grizel. That's where I'm getting confused, Rudy Grizel. But Joe Grizel, the father of Rudy Grizel. But the lead singer on this is Charlie Hodge, who later met Elvis Presley in the Army and went to work for him as a bodyguard, a road manager. Okay. And this is from September 57, and Charlene has that it was also released on Mercury Records, Mercury 71139. I wonder if I have that. But anyway, September 57, going out to David Browder. Did you pick this up at the flea mar at the thrift shop? David, if you did, it's pretty good. September 57, the Marksmen on Star Day. It's called You Hurt Me So for David Browder.
You said you loved me,
yes,
but oh, you lied.
yes,
You hurt my pride. You made me cry. Oh, oh, oh.
yes, yes,
Oh, oh, oh.
yes, yes.
You hurt me so. I believed you
yes, yes,
with all my heart.
yes, yes.
You promised, darling, we'd never part. Oh, oh, oh.
Yes, yes.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yes, yes.
You hurt me so.
You hurt me so.
Maybe someday I'll find a way to have your love with me. But till then, I'll have to dream that you still belong to me. Oh, oh, oh. You hurt me so. Oh, when you told me no. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. You hurt me so.
You hurt me so.
Maybe someday I'll find a way to have your love with me. But till then, I'll have to dream that you still belong to me. Oh, oh, oh. You hurt me so. Oh, when you told me no. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. You hurt me so.
You hurt me so.
As by request for David Browder, those are the Marksmen from September 1957, and Charlie Hodge, he's the lead singer on that. You Hurt Me So is the name of the tune. Came out on the Star Day record label. Believe it or not, I don't have a lot of the earlier Star Days. I have a lot of the later ones from the early 1960s into the mid-1960s, but I do have some, something called Bugger something. I don't know what it's called. Maybe Big Dave knows. Something with bugger in it. Not booger, bugger. But anyway, there you go. That's going out to David Browder. We continue here. Moving to 1958 now. And this is a great girl group sound. This is going out a request for a Maldonado's Soul Oldies. He requested this on the Wednesday night show, but this was not this song was not for my Wednesday night crowd. No, it was not. But it's definitely for the Saturday night crowd, as these gals, they hail from Brooklyn, New York, and the lead singer, her name is Cleo Baker. She previously sang lead with the Fidelities. If you know the song called Please Be My Guy, it came out first on the Johnson label, which I do not have, but I do have the Cindy release. Now, her group is called The Fawns. This is from October 58. Paid $10 for this record from a John Tefteller auction. The Fawns from October 58 with Cleo Baker on lead, going out to Maldonado's Soul Oldies on Apt Records. It's called Until I Die. October 58 release there for the Fawns. Cleo Baker on lead, going out to Maldonado's Soul Oldies in our YouTube chat room. Until I Die is the name of the tune. That's on the ABC Paramount subsidiary Apt Records. George Tompkins, the late George Tompkins, turned Johnny G on to that song. I was in high school listening to him, and I put that down on my want list, and I won it in that Tefteller auction sometime in the early 80s, I think I did. Johnny G here on a Saturday. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. All your requests every Saturday, beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time till midnight, and some overtime. Here's a flip side from last week. I played a request for listener Butch Ford in Hawaii. He requested this group from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They were called The Exclusives, recorded for the K&C record label. The song was called It's Over, but Butch wanted to hear the flip side this week, so let's give a listen to the flip before it goes back down in the no humidity basement. This is from July 58, The Exclusives on K&C Records. It's called My... Is that right? Yeah, My Girlfriend. This is for Butch Ford in Hawaii.
Come a pretty baby, come a go with me. Take a little ride, baby, cross the sea. Ride, baby, ride, you won't get long. Take a little ride, baby, I'll bring you back home. Just rockin', baby, rollin', baby, come on home. Oh, baby, come a go with me. Oh, take a ride, baby, cross the sea. Rock, baby, roll, baby, have a time. Oh, pretty baby, wanna spend the time. Rock me, baby, roll, baby, come on, time. Come on, go with me. We'll take a little ride, baby, cross the sea. Oh, pretty baby, it won't be long. If we get tired, I'll bring you back home. Rock and roll, oh, hold me tight.
That's my request for listener Butch Ford. Those are the exclusives. The exclusives, the B-side to the, or I don't know if it's a B-side or the A-side. Last week I featured It's Over, this side called My Girlfriend from July 1958 on K&C Records for Butch Ford. We stay in 1958. This one by request for listener Timothy in our YouTube chat room. This is a family affair group. Yes, it is. A group of siblings, two sisters, two brothers, and they had two releases on the VJ record label, Vivian Carter's VJ Records. This is their first, written by group member Johnny Capers. It features his sister on lead. Her name is Elsie Capers. Let's go to September of 1958 for the Capers on VJ Records. Going out to Timothy in our YouTube chat room. It's called Miss You, My Dear, for Timothy.
Miss you, I miss you. Miss you, I miss you. I miss you. Miss you, and goes with the laughter.
As by request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room, the sound of the Capers there. That's their first of two on the VJ label, Miss You My Dear. That one there from September 58. And that one with Elsie Caper. She's the lead singer on that. Now this, two of the brothers of this group would record as the Capers on Roulette in 1965 and also as the Caper Brothers. So they had a record. They continued recording. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures. Here's a flip side from a couple weeks ago. Actually, Timothy requested a Sunny Day and the Versatiles, featured it on the September 16th, 2023 Vinyl Treasure show, a song called Speedalack. And I think a couple weeks ago, or when I played that, Daryl Letts requested the flip side. And this is Sunny Day on lead. His real name is David Fatolsky, and he also wrote this tune. Now, the Versatiles, who are backing him up, are, I think you can call this the second Del Vikings group after they left. And this Del Vikings group, I think they were Crip Johnson, Chuck Jackson, Eddie Everett, and Don Jackson. Well, Charlene, did this side chart in Pittsburgh? This was number 10 on WCAE, or did the flip side chart? Was this the side? Either way, let's go to February 58. This is for Daryl Letts, the B-side, or the A-side, to Speedalack, Sunny Day, and the Versatiles. It's on Checker. It's called Half Moon for Daryl.
Shine upon the one that I love. My baby only gives me half of her love. You devil half moon, devil half moon, half moon. Why can't you give our old love a new start? My baby only gives me half of her heart. You devil half moon. I love her so, I can't let her go. Half moon, can't you see? You must realize these are tears in my eyes. Turn to fool and bring her back to me. Half moon, why must you shine upon the one that I love? My baby only gives me half of her love. You devil half moon, devil half moon. My baby only gives me half of her heart. You devil half moon, devil half moon. You devil half moon, devil half moon. You devil, devil half moon.
As going out to Daryl Letts there, the Sunny Day and the Versatiles, February 58, Half Moon is the name of the tune. That one there on the Checker record label, subsidiary of Chess Records. Now, if you're a werewolf, will you change into a wolf man? with a half moon. I wonder if they ever address that in the movies. I don't know. But let's continue here on Vinyltreasure. We are in 1958. Here's a request for listener Kenny Mack. Where is Kenny Mack? I saw him before. I didn't get a chance to say hello to Kenny. But this group out of Harlem, New York, you know their signature song from 1956. Well, actually, Shirley was the A side, I think, or one side played on the West Coast, another side played on the East Coast. I think that's what Marvin mentioned. Please Say You Want Me. I say that's their signature song on the OK record label. But Kenny requested their very last single. Came out on George Goldner's Juanita label. It's from November of 58. It features Leslie Martin on lead. They're called the Schoolboys. The Schoolboys on the Juanita record label, going out to Kenny Mack. It's called Angel of Love.
There's a girl who crowds my dreams. She is the only girl I love. She's a girl that I've never seen, but she's my angel of love.
That's going out to Kenny Mack in our YouTube chat room. That's the sound of the Schoolboys. That's their very last release. He sounds older than his the first record, Am I Old Enough? If you go back and listen to that, he sounds like his voice is getting a little bit deeper there. It does. November 58 release on the Juanita label, Angel of Love. I think that first, Leslie Martin, that's his name, the lead singer. And that comes with, mine says distributed by Gone. So that's, I guess you can, it's really a first press, but supposedly that's out without the distributed by Gone. That would be the very true first press of that record. Johnny G here on a Saturday. We are in the year 1958. Here's a request for Texas listener Jim Lampley, although this group, they are out of Washington, D.C., and this is their debut single. They traveled all the way to New York City to audition for Gene Schwartz and his Lorry label, and as a result, they had this one single. It features Sam Gilbert on lead. This is going out to listener Jim Lampley in Texas, July 58. The Marvels. The Marvels on the Lorry label, and it's Styrene, and you know my feelings about Styrene, but it's called I Shed So Many Tears for Jim.
I
shed so many tears since you went away. I shed so many tears, I cried night and day. I shed so many tears, my heart is in pain. Please dear, hurry home to me. I shed so many tears, please hurry home. I shed so many tears, darling, I'm all alone. Darling, can you see that I need you so? Hurry home, hurry home, hurry home. I shed so many tears, please hurry home. I shed so many tears, darling, I'm all alone. Darling, can you see that I need you so? Hurry home, hurry home, hurry home.
That's going out to Jim Lampley in Texas there, the Marvels. Marvels from July 58, I Shed So Many Tears. That's on the Laurie record label. I think the flip side is good on this. If I recall, I think it is. In 1961, they would have two releases on the Win label as the Marvels, Vells. This one, he's kind of pronounced it like the Marvels, this, the Marvels. And then they also recorded as the Senators. The Senators, I have one that they wrote in with, I think it's called Wedding Bells, where they wrote in pen, I think. Anyway, we continue here on, Vinyl Treasures. And here's a request for listener Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube chat room. This is a very rare 45 out of Cleveland, Ohio, by this group called the Annuals. Now, the first presses of this came out on the Con label, C-O-N-N, and then I think the second was on Marcon, M-A-R-C-O-N-N, and actually it's a different version, and I got that Marcon from, who did I buy that from? Mike Maldonado, I think, sold me that. I bought it off of eBay. I think he had $300 on the record. It has like a little bit of a crack around the label. And I don't know if that came in shipping or whatnot, but this is a much harder. Well, I think it's, definitely harder on this. I don't know what the price is on this. I don't think I've ever seen another one sold, but I bought this from the late Chris Ciccona from Long Island, and he sold me this a long, long time ago, but I'm featuring it on Con Records for Daniel. December 58, the Annuals on Con. It's called Once in a Lifetime. This is for Daniel.
Oh, once in a lifetime, when you held me tight, that was the right time. Things seemed so bright to be with you, knowing that our love is true. Oh, baby, what can I do? What can I do? Once in that moment when love is true, darling, I'll always, yes, remember you. Yeah. remember you just like a fool. I fell in love with you. Oh, baby, now we are through.
Now we are through. Now we are through. Now we are
December 58 release there for the Annuals. The Annuals going out to Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube channel. I featured it on the Con label, C-O-N. And don't let anybody con you. This is a hard record to find. Even on the other label, Marcon Records, Once in a Lifetime is the name of the tune. And sometimes some of these records, I don't even know, they might be once in a lifetime finds because they're getting harder and harder to find. They're showing up in like deceased collectors, estates. Unfortunately, that's how sad as it is. But they're just harder to find. And as we go on, everybody's playing MP3s or, CDs, maybe not even CDs. Everything is MP3s. So don't bring a magnet to their house. But you hear the original vinyl here, and less, I don't even know any young people are playing 45s anymore. We're all up there in age. There we are, keeping at least the originality of the music alive, and that's what I try to do. So let's continue here. Let's go back to New Haven, Connecticut with this request for listener Bob Hannis in our YouTube chat room, and this is the group's second release on Thomas Robinson's Atlas record label. And the interesting thing, this was I was a staff accountant for a company called Transamerica Leasing. They were at, I think, 711 Westchester Avenue in White Plains. So I think they put me up to a senior accountant, and I had this gal working for me. Her name was Hope Knight. And she wasn't married at the time, but she eventually did get married. But I think she lived in Yonkers, and her parents just moved into a new home, and she knew that I was big into records. So she says, Johnny, there's some records that we found in the attic. I said, in the attic? I said, are they okay? And she goes, well, yeah, they're in the box, and I don't think they're warped or anything. I'll bring them in, and I'll let you take 2. She was going to give them to me. She wouldn't let me even buy the others. So this was one of them. This is actually the copy. So I don't know. Some girl's name is on this. Jackie Days was her name, whoever owned this, and it's a promo. And there was another, I think there was another Atlas 45 in there. I think I took 2 records on Atlas, and the others were not the greatest, but she let me have this for free. And these don't play that well, though, but this one's okay. Some of the Atlas Angletones, with the recycled vinyl, they just don't sound right. I mean, this is okay. It could sound better, but I like this song a lot, and it features Leroy Gomez on lead. Of course, that was not his real name. His real name was Leroy Griffin, not to be confused with the other Leroy Griffin that recorded for the Nutmegs. But this is from July 58. This is going out to Bob Hannis in our YouTube chat room. The Haven Knights. They were no longer 4. I think they were 5. And they dropped the 4. The Haven Knights on Atlas Records. It's called Why Go On Pretending. This is for Bob.
Why go on pretending? Why go on pretending? Why try to make me care? If this is the ending, dear, all
Great tune there by request for listener Bob Hannis in our YouTube chat room. Those are the Haven Knights. The Haven Knights with Leroy Gomez on lead, July 1958 release on Atlas Records. Why go on pretending? Johnny G ain't pretending. I'm playing real 45's originals, so I apologize for the hisses, the pops, and the scratches. The majority of the records are pretty clean, and I know a lot. I'm telling you, I was listening to my podcast in the new Honda, and it sounded great. I was like blasting my Wednesday night show with those soul records. But anyway, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. Here's a request for listener Timothy in our YouTube chat room, and this singer originally from Columbus, Ohio, and before he went solo, though, he was a member of a number of groups. First joined the Swallows back in 1956 on the King record label. He was also a member of the Marquis, the Marquis, Quis, that recorded for Rainbow, and the Flyers that recorded for the Atco label, where he was recruited by Bill Pinkney to become a member of the Drifters, and he sang lead on Drip Drop. And then in 1958, he went solo on Juggy Murray's Sue label, and the result was eight releases. 8 releases on Sue. This is his first. I should say his first was his biggest hit, and you may know the song called Itchy Twitchy Feeling. That was his big hit. But let's give a listen to his second that Timothy requested, written by Jamie Oliver, and Charlene has the Coasters are backing him up on this. I don't know if that is correct, but anyway, this is from September 58. His name is Bobby Hendricks. Bobby Hendricks, by request for Timothy, on Sue Records. It's called Dreamy Eyes for Timothy. There you go. That's going out to Timothy in our YouTube chat room, September 58. Bobby Hendricks and a group. Well, I know they definitely were on 1,000 Dreams on the flip side of Itchy Twitchy Feeling. So maybe they recorded this one too, because this was his second release on excuse me, Sue Records, Dreamy Eyes. That's for Timothy, as we're almost ready to join Oldies and More Radio beginning at midnight here as we start the overtime. But here is a request for Adrian Viterbo, listening in Mexico. This was sort of a hit, we're going to say, so I'm going to predict Lenny G knows this song or remembers it. It's the group's fifth release on the co-ed record label. This charted number 22 on Billboard, 15 on Cashbox, was number 14 on the R&B chart, but a big number one record. This record number one on WEEL in Washington, D.C., and a request for Adrian. It features Johnny Maestro on lead, their fifth release on co-ed from July 59, the Crests with The Angels Listened In.
The angels listened in, when they heard me pray. The angels listened in, when they heard me say, please send me someone to love. Send the one I'm thinking of, my darling. The angels sent you. The angels listened in, when they heard me crying. The angels listened in, there's no denying. They sent one with lovely charm, one who really thrills my arms, my darling, when the angels sent you. I search everywhere just to find someone who cares. They came down to interrupt, just as I had given up. The angels listened in and brought you near me. The angels listened in, I love them dearly. They gave me the whole wide world, wrapped up in one little girl, my darling, when the angels sent you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa,
That's the great sound of Johnny Maestro and the Crests there. That's their fifth release on the co-ed record label, July 59, going out to Adrian, listening in Mexico. The Crests with The Angels Listened In. Yes. Let's stay in 1959. Let's go to Detroit, Michigan. This is on Robert West's Contour label. This is a request for listener Jimmy Amato. Interesting, though, that, Johnny Otis, the Johnny Otis show, he would feature other singers. He would make it kind of like a TV show that he was doing. It would say the Johnny Otis show, but it would feature, the 3 Tons of Fun, or it would Johnny I forget who's the other one. Who's the guy that Mel Williams. So there were, I think there were like 4 or 5 Capitol releases all in a row. That was the Johnny Otis show. Well, similarly, band leader Sax Carey did the same thing. Called it the Sax Carey Show. And this one came out on Robert West's Contour label out of Detroit. And he said, this is from February 59, and this is a request for listener Jimmy Amato. Didn't see Jimmy in chat. Hopefully he's okay. But this is from February 59, and it says, the Sax Carey Show starring the Newports. Now, the Newports, in reality, are the Falcons, the same Falcons that recorded You're So Fine. The lead singer on this is Eddie Floyd. An interesting song here. This is from February 59. These are the Newports on Contour. It's called Harry Arthur Murray. This is for Jimmy Amato.
need a mumbo lesson in a hurry. I got a date, and that's simply great. And that's what's got me full of worry. She likes the mumbo, and she's good, but I can't mumbo, wished I could. She thinks that I'm a great romancer, but she doesn't know that I'm a lousy dancer. Hurry, Arthur Murray, I need a mumbo lesson in a hurry. I've got to be the king of Turkessery, so hurry, Arthur Murray, please hurry. Oh, hurry, Arthur Murray, I need a cha-cha lesson in a hurry. I just don't know which way to go, and that's what's got me full of worry. She like the cha-cha, and that's bad. If I can't cha-cha, she'll be mad. She got me down as a great romancer, but she doesn't know that I'm a lousy dancer. Hurry, Arthur Murray, I need a cha-cha lesson in a hurry. I've got to be the king of Turkessery, so hurry, Arthur Murray, please hurry. Get me straight, I'll pay the rate. Teach me any steps so I won't worry. If I can mumbo and be good, I'll do the cha-cha like I should. I'll still be as good as a great romancer, but I'll be much greater than a top-notch dancer. Hurry, Murray, I need a whole dance course in a hurry. I've got to be the king of Turkessery, so hurry, Arthur Murray, please hurry.
That's going out to Jimmy Amato there, the sound of the Newports. Actually, it says the Sax Carey Show featuring the Newports. That one there on the Contour record label. This group, Newports, really the Falcons. And Eddie Floyd, Knock on Wood, and Tony Crosby, you know Knock on Wood by Eddie Floyd. Big hit for him on the Stax label. He was the lead singer of this group from February 59. Harry Arthur Murray's Dance Studio, yes. That's a mambo, Lenny. You know, do the mambo here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here anyway. And a couple weeks ago, on the September 16th, 2023 Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured this group called the Enchanters on the Sid Nathan's Sharp record label, a division of Savoy Records. It was a request for listener John Vasquez. The song was called The Decision. But I've decided to play the flip side of this because I like the flip of this. And interesting here, Charlene, because on this promo, there is a date stamp here. It says January 28th. And Ferdy has that this was recorded January 13th of 1960. So where does we get April 60 on this? So did Ferdy have April 60? Because this promo says January 28th. I don't know. So maybe it's in the ballpark, we'll say. But this is the B-side of the 45. It's a great two-sided 45, so I'm playing this side. The Enchanters from, all right, we'll say April 60 on Sharp Records. It's called We Make Mistakes.
Oh, we make mistakes. All make mistakes. I'm sorry, so sorry, darling, I've lost you. And for the heartaches I've caused you. But darling, it won't happen again. Oh, never again. Forgive me. Forgive me, darling, I've caused you so much pain. And my whole life will never be the same. And darling, it won't happen again. I know I was wrong, dear. It's been all so long, dear, since I held you close in my arms. How can I explain, dear, when my heart is in pain, dear? I suffer and lost all of your charm. Forgive me. Forgive me, darling, I've caused you so much pain. And my whole life will never be the same. And darling, it won't happen. Oh, yeah.
Go. Those are the Enchanters. The Enchanters there from, I don't know, April 60. I have a stamper on here. It says January 28th. It wouldn't be 61. So I don't know. You know, Ferdy, I spoke to him a few times before he passed away. And he was really angry, though. He was. I think somebody was, because I think somebody, you know, kind of stole his disco file and was selling it. He was selling them. They were pretty cheap. There was like $10. He was selling them for $10. I mean, I wanted the books, and he never sent them to me. And I kind of like, so he sent me the CDs, a couple of them he did, and then I had to pay and he needed money too. I felt bad for him because he was not healthy at the time. I think he was down in Florida. But he told me, he said, you know, Johnny, I got this information from the record companies. They would, I would upload their files, and that's where I got all the recording dates, and specifically. So I tell Charlene to be really leery with Ferdy's, where he has just the date, because, you know, he'll list things all 1957. I tell her to look at other, I mean, you can go to copyright, but that's not always correct, because not everybody went right out and got their copyright on the record. Sometimes it took a couple years before they did that, before the record got played again. So if you can see it in Cashbox or Billboard or Record World, or maybe on the somewhere, some chart, some local chart, ASRA, I think that's the website. It's actually a pretty cool website too, by the way. But there you go. Those are the Enchanters. We'll send that one out to John Vasquez. I bet he likes that ballad there. We'll say April 60, We Make Mistakes, on the Sharp label. Johnny G does make mistakes, as maybe on this one. So Charlene is, let me see. What's Joe Shacatano's other request here? Or is this it? No, it's not. I see Woody Robinson. Okay, this is for Kenny Mack. Interesting that Kenny Mack would request. Well, I guess it's not interesting, because Kenny is discovering new sounds here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. But let's go to Philadelphia, PA now, with this request for Kenny Mack in our YouTube chat room. This group had 2 releases on Alfred Ford's Lasso record label, and it's the interesting thing is that both of these releases came out in 1960, but they sounded like they were recorded in 1954. So This record was doomed for the year 1960. They were too old sounding, but many of you will like this record. I do. But this is the first, Kenny requested their first, and when I bought both of these, Greg upgraded his copies. I think he came back from the Austin show many years ago, and he said to me, Johnny, I got both copies of the Lasso record. Do you need them, by the Castros? And I said, yeah, I do at the time. You know, I had lots of money in my pocket, so he came over and I bought them. So, but I like this one the best. I have their other one too. This is from 1960, going out to Kenny Mac, the Castros on the Lasso label. It's called Darling, I Fell for You, the Castros.
Darling, I fell for you. You know you helped me too. You charmed me, dear. Darling, I fell for you. Darling, I fell for you. I hope that you'll be true. Your lips touched mine, darling, I fell for you.
Dear, you'll no longer be lonely. I'll always be by your side. You know, dear, I love you only. My love I cannot hide.
Darling, I fell for you. I'm helpless, what can I do? I'll be so true. Darling, I fell for you.
Be lonely, I'll always be by your side. You know, dear, I love you only. My love I cannot hide.
Darling, I fell for you. I'm helpless, what can I do? I'll be so true. Darling, I fell.
Darling, I fell.
Darling, I fell for you.
Yeah, that was released in 1960. That had no chance. No chance in 1960, really, but it's a great record there. Should have been issued in like 1955, possibly. The Castros there, going out to Kenny Mac in our YouTube chat room. Darling, I Fell for You on the Lasso record label. They also recorded on Grand as Larry Smith and the Castros. The same group, it is, but that is early sounding there. So maybe those were in the Cannons put out on Lasso Records. I don't know. Believe it or not, I have something else on this label. I never listened to it. I saw it in the box, but I'll have to check it out. I forgot to welcome in Oldies and More Radio. You're joining Johnny G and the Vinyltreasure Show, broadcasting live beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. And I'm here till 12 o'clock, but we do overtime on the Oldies and More Radio Network. So glad you can join us here on this Saturday night. And we continue here. We are in the year 1960. This is a request for Rick in Philly, this group out of Albany, New York. York. Now, their debut single made the national charts. I'm sure many of you know their debut single, a song called The Things I Love. This group sounded so much like Tony Williams and the Platters, I think because of their lead singer, Maurice Newton, sounded like Tony Williams. And they recorded 7 for Saul Rabinowitz's Baton/Sir labels out of New York City. And Rick requested the group's 4th, and this is on Sir. I guess Baton changed to Sir Records. And it's with Sammy Lowe and the orchestra. And the lead on this, though, is not Maurice Newton. It's really Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith, the running back for the Dallas Cowboys? No. Emmitt Smith is the lead singer on this side. So there you go. So maybe they don't sound like the Platters on this side. But let's give it a spin. August 1960 for Rick in Philly, the Fidelities. On the Sir label, it's called Broken Love for Rick.
A broken love that's real, don't let it end, live it again. Who's to know how far your love can go? Give it a chance. Don't kill romance. Too many hearts have drifted apart, left love along the way. Many tears will fall through the years. Don't let them fly away. Time will tell. Works like you're wishing well, comes from above to heal broken love. Time will tell. Works like you're wishing well, comes from above to heal broken
Those are the Fidelities. Fidelities, I said, yes, I did. I said, did Saul Rabinowitz sell Baton, and that therefore they changed their name? I don't know. Maybe they did. I just noticed that when I collected this label, they went from Baton to Sir. So maybe there was a reason why they changed it. So I don't know. I said Saul Rabinowitz's, but maybe he didn't own Sir. I'm assuming he did. August 60 release there for the Fidelities, going out to Rick in Philly. Broken Love with Emmitt Smith on lead. We continue here. We move into 1961. This is a flip side from last week and a request for Darrell Letts. Played the flip of this for a listener, Joe Shacatano, called Keep Listening to Your Heart, a group out of Philadelphia known as the Carterays, going back to 1953, recorded as the Eddie Carter Quartet, but had releases on MGM, Grand, Jubilee, and Sound Records, and also recorded for George Gollner's Gone and Lyric labels as the Carterays, And this was their very last record. And Joe requested Keep Listening to Your Heart. Darrell Letts requested The Flip. And this was a record I first heard on George Tompkins' radio show when he had his show at Westchester Community College, and I was attending high school. This is from May 61. It features Harold Cade on lead. This is on the Mala label, the Carterays. The Carterays on Mala, called Bless You, for Darrell Letts.
Bless you for the endless love you give. Bless you for showing me the way to live. Bless you for the miracle you bring, turning winter into spring, teaching silent hearts to sing. All my fears. Bless you for painting rainbows with my tears. Bless you for the helping hand you lend, tender lover and true friend, all the way to journey end. Bless you. Whoa.
That's by request for Darrell Letts there. Those are the Carterays. That's on the Mallow label, painted on label. Did you see that there? Those of you that like styrene records, that's a painted on label. That's even cheaper. So they didn't even pay to put the paper label on there. They just I don't know what they do. They stamp it on there, I guess. There you go, May 61, the Carterays, called Bless You on the Mala record label. We continue here in 1961 as we do this request for UK listener Indrajit Advani, and he wants to send this one out to you, Lenny G, in the YouTube chat room. This group out of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and if you listen to the Gus Gossard show, he would play this record a lot, and that's where I first heard it. Actually, it's a great two-sided 45 on Les Cahans, C-A-H-A-N-S, if I said it right, Les K label, which is out of New York City. This is with Joe Renee and his orchestra. It features Matthew Morales on lead. From September 61, let's give a listen to the Carnations. This is by request for Indrajit Advani in the UK, sending it out to Lenny G in our YouTube chat room. It's on Les K Records. It's called Long Tall Girl.
A long tall girl, a long tall girl, a long tall girl. Well, a long tall girl loved a short boy. They walked together with a bottle of joy. The people used to laugh at they walked by. They said, a long tall girl
and a little peanut. little Rufus.
A long tall girl, she was so tall. A long tall girl, and that was it all. A long tall girl, oh, she had it all. Long tall girl, loving a short boy. They walked together with a bundle of joy. The people used to laugh and they walked by the said, long tall girl,
My little meatball.
a long tall girl, a long tall girl, a long tall girl.
There you go. Those are the Carnations. Carnations from September 61. Matthew Morales on lead there. That's on the Les K record label. By request for UK listener Indrajit Advani, sending it out to Lenny G. Long Tall Girl. Too bad they didn't have, well, they did have another release, I think, Charlene, under the Carnations name. I probably wrote that and didn't know. There you go. Some of these old write-ups have to be redone again, I think, and have to do that. I just don't have the time to do that. But let's continue here in 1961 here. Boy, the copyright police, I popped their head out. All of a sudden, I was fine all night long. You see, when I get past 3 hours and they start saying, we gotta follow Johnny G, so I got to elude them now. And we'll see. Maybe I'm going to get in trouble with this next record. And it's early Diana Ross and the Supremes. This is a request for Amnon. I featured the A side of this on my Wednesday night show. It was called, do I have it here? What was the side here? I Want a Guy. That was it. I don't have it here. I Want a Guy, yes. So I played that on the Wednesday night soul show, but this side is more group harmony like, so it fits the Saturday night show better. Supposedly this was issued on Motown number 1008, but there is a picture of it on 45 Cats, so somebody has this record. But this is the B side of the 45. It features Diana Ross on lead. This side written and produced by Berry Gordy Jr. Early Supremes from March 61 on Tamla Records. Going out to listener Emnon. It's called Never Again.
You said we'd never part.
That's going out to Amnon there. That's Diana Ross and the Supremes' early release, March 61. The flip side of I Want a Guy, a song entitled Never Again, came out on the Tamla, the Tamla record label. Go away, copyright police. Please leave me alone. They are still out there, and don't be a pain. They are a pain. We are in 1961. Here's another flip side from last week, and Adrian Viterbo requested the Intruders on the Gowan label, this group out of Philadelphia. The song was called Come Home Soon. And Daryl Letts requested the flip side here. So we're going to give the flip side a spin before I file it back down. This is a cover song, first recorded by the Plurals on the Wagner label in 1958. This is on Gowan Records, and features Sam Little Sonny Brown on lead, December 61, for Daryl Letts, the Intruders on Gowan, and their rendition of the tune I'm Soul parentheses on You for Daryl.
Hold your arms, dear, oh what a thrill. No one felt like this since Jack felt for you. I'm so, baby, so on you. I sampled your arms, dear, oh what a thrill. No one felt like this since Jack felt for you. I'm so, baby, so on you. Since I took inventory of the charm that you possess, don't say I'm old when I say I'm so on your sweet caress. Let's keep a supply of dreams on the shelf and stack them up high for you and myself. I'm so, baby, so on you. Since I took inventory of the charm that you possess, don't say I'm old when I say I'm so on your sweet caress. Let's keep a supply, dreams on the shelf and stack them up high for you and myself. I'm so, baby, so on you.
That's going out to Daryl Letts there. That's the sound of the Intruders with Sam Little Sonny Brown on lead, December 61 release, I'm Soul parentheses on You, first done by the Plurals. The Plurals did it first on the Wagner label in 58. Their next release, I think they went by the name of the Four Intruders. Of course, they had big hit in 1967, Cowboys to Girls, I think, and others, of course. But we continue here. We are in 1961. Here's a request for listener Matey Campboy. It's actually a B-side for this singer from Jacksonville, Florida, but he relocated to Norfolk, Virginia. His real name, Gary Anderson, had a slew of hits on Frank Guida's LeGrand record label. His biggest hit, I'm sure many of you know it, called Quarter to Three. And also another big hit that my aunt bought back in 1962, Dear Lady Twist. He had 24 overall releases between 1960 and 1967 on the LeGrand record label. Now, this is the B-side to his third. The A-side was called Not Me, which was then covered by the Orlons, I think. But the flip side here, although I told Charlene, I said, Charlene, this is a cover of the Chic's record, the Chic's on F&D, a very rare record that I do have, by the way. I have a nice copy of it from 1956. But she said to me, she said, no, Johnny, the writer's different. And she said the lyrics are different, but the title's the same. And I just thought it was the same record. And I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat can prove me right or wrong. But either way, it's by request for Matey Campboy. It says on here U.S. Bonds, but it's really Gary U.S. Bonds, of course. February 61. It's on Lee Grand Records, the flip side of Not Me. It's called Give Me One More Chance. Gary U.S. Bonds. B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go. That's from Matey Campboy. Just came in our YouTube chat room. February 1961 released the flip side of Not Me, which was the A-side. This side called Give Me One More Chance. That's the B-side to his third release on the Legrand record label. Matey, I couldn't find the duet, the other duet you asked for, because I had to pick up my car today, and then I had to go grocery shopping, and I got home. It was late. It was like 4 o'clock. That's not enough time for me to really put together the show, and I was late for tonight's show. So I apologize for that. There were 3 requests I couldn't get, one for Adrian, one for Bill Olb, and one for Matey. So you're going to have to wait till next week. Send me your others for this coming week, and I will find those. I have a few. I have some time now to look for those. But let's continue here. Now, actually, this is a request for Adrian Viterbo. He sent this to me for my Wednesday night show, but I said, well, wait a minute, September 61 maybe, but this was, and this could have, I guess I could have gone either way with this record, but it's a duet, and this is on the Arliss record label. There's some good records on Arliss Records in 1961. And this duet is J&D. Now, Charlene, did you find out if this is her debut single on this or not? But the singers are Jay is, who is here? And who is the flip side here, Charlene? Oh, there you go. It's J&D. Interesting, J&D, like that Who drinks J&D? Or is that J&B? Anyway, September 61. It's on Arliss Records, J&D. Now, J is Jeffrey Moore. Wait. I'd have to... No, Charlene, do you know who... No, you don't know who J is. There you go. We don't know who J is. But we know who D is. D is really Doris Payne. Now, do you know who Doris Payne is? Doris Payne, Payne, is Doris Troy. Doris Troy. She had a big hit on Atlantic Records called Just One Look. But here she is singing a duet with Jay, and we don't know who Jay is. But the tune written by Jeffrey Moore and Samson Horton. And I know that Doris Payne has a release on the Everest label, but I told Charlene to find out the release date on that, because this one came out in September 61. This is for Adrian. J&D with Doris Troy singing on this with Jay. It's on Arliss Records. It's called What a Night, Night, Night. And this is for Adrian. There you go. That's going out to Adrian Viterbo in our YouTube chat room. That is a JND, September 61. Don't know who J is, but D is Doris Troy, a.k.a. Doris Payne. And Charlie now tells me it is not her first release. She had 2 releases prior to this, so there you go. But this is prior to her Atlantic releases for sure. There you go. Let's continue here. We are still in 1961, and this is a request for listener Ronnie Sherman. This singer was a member of Frankie Lyman's Teenagers. His name is Joey Negroni, or Joe Negroni, but on here I guess we can call it Joey, but Joe Negroni, and he had this release on the Columbia label. It's the B-side of the 45. The A-side features Sherman Garnes, as both are backed by the Teenagers. Now this is the B-side, written by Jimmy Castor and John Pruitt. There you go. June 61 for Ronnie Sherman, Joey and the Teenagers with Joe Negroni on lead on Columbia. It's called What's on Your Mind. This is for Ronnie.
La 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 makes me wish you come back soon. Yeah, these stars and this blue night make me wish you were inside. And while I'm thinking of your tender kiss, the velvet skin I truly miss. Darling, what's on your mind? Do I go through your dreams? Do I mix it with all your schemes? When day reaches its end, I sit and read the cards you say. But while I'm holding on to memory, while I chase fading ecstasy, my love, what's on your mind?
My darling, what is on your mind? Why do you always keep me in the dark? Well, maybe one day I'll know and understand when I hold your hand in mine. What's on your mind?
And while I think of hair that I can't touch, of little things I miss so much, darling, what's on your mind? La 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 la.
There you go. That's going out to Ronnie Sherman. You heard that was the bass of the Teenagers in there, so they were singing on there with Joe Negroni on lead there. That's Joey and the Teenagers, June 61, What's on Your Mind on the Columbia record label. That's for Ronnie Sherman. Let's do another flip side from last week. I featured A Blushing Bride for Kenny Mack, a group called the True Tones from June of 61. That was on the Felsted record label. But Darrell Letts wanted the flip side of that, the True Tones, a group out of Washington, D.C., and it features Ronald Henderson on lead. This is from June of 61, going out to Darrell, the True Tones on Felsted. It's called Singing Waters.
Boom, 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 boom. That valley where the lilacs bloom and the waterfall has an enchanting singing waters coming down the mountainside that listen, bringing melodies of love to anyone who cares to listen. Singing waters sang a song of love for me the very day you came my way. That's where I'd like to live, with you my whole life long, where romance can be one beautiful sweet love song. Singing water, tell the babbling brook I want the whole world to know I love her so. That's where I'd like to live, with you my whole life long. sweet love song, singing water. Tell me, darling, girl, I want the whole world to know I love her so.
That's for Darrell. That's there. That's the sound of the True Tones from June 61 on the Felsted label, Singing Waters. I forget, when did the Cashmeres record this? They also do a version on the Laurie label. I don't know which one is first. I didn't get a chance to rewrite this right up here, but the Cashmeres on Laurie also cover this song. Let's move into 1962 now. This is a request for Rick in Philly. We go to Detroit, Michigan for this group. Their biggest hit was a song called I Love You, which came out on Willie Ewing's Chex label. Was actually a pretty big hit for the group, number 22 on Billboard, 20 on Cashbox. But this is the B-side, and I'm actually playing the rare press. Charlene didn't know anything about this, so I didn't tell her which one I was playing. But the group is called The Volumes, but when this record was first pressed, they screwed it up. They instead of calling them The Volumes, they called them The Valiums with an A. So that was a mistake. So the first presses of this, they're not even first presses because they're just hard to find. But they did go out. I don't know if they were up in Detroit or wherever. But I'm featuring it as The Volumes. It's from March 62. It's the flip side of their hit, I Love You. It features Eddie Union on lead. This is on the Chex label. The Volumes, a.k.a. The Volumes, on Chex with their tune called Dreams. This is going out to Rick in Philly. Going out to Rick in Philly. That's a B-side for The Volumes, a.k.a. The Volumes, from March 62. Eddie Union on lead on the Chex label. Dreams, the flip side, a hit for them. I Love You is that one there. 1, 2, 3, 4 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyltreasure Show. We are in the year 1962. Here's a request for listener Paul Michel. His schoolmate buddies called the Imaginations. He's been requesting their records over the course of the last few weeks. Frank Mancuso and the Imaginations. Although on this release, this was their last release as the Imaginations. And Bobby Bloom, he's the lead singer on this. And Paul requested both sides of this 45, so we're going to give a listen to the intended A-side, released in December of 62. The Imaginations on the Ballad label. Going out to Paul, it's called Wait a Little Longer, Son. As going out to Paul Michel there, though, that's the sound of the Imaginations. That's their last release as the Imaginations, December 1962. That's on the Ballad record label. Wait a Little Longer. That's Bobby Bloom on lead. Bobby Bloom that had a hit in 1970 called Montego Bay. He was the lead singer on that. We're going to flip that 45 over right after I play this request for listener Joe Shacatano. Don't know anything about this record, though. It's out of Buffalo, New York. It's on the Monticello record label. Actually, the address is 42 Monticello Avenue in Buffalo, New York. And it's with Skeeter Best and his orchestra. Now, this singer, his name is Woody Robinson, and he co-wrote this tune. There is an uncredited group backing him up, and it's from 1962, going out to Joe Shacatano, Woody Robinson on the Monticello label. It's called Please Be Mine, All Mine.
Your love is the warmest thing to have and to hold, my love, just to be with you. I love once again that fools and only fools will play. So darling, give me a ring, and please don't delay. Your kisses are sweet, my love. Just say them for me, my love. Please be mine, all mine. 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 Please be mine, all
There you go. That's going out to Joe Shacatano in our YouTube chat room. 1962 release on the Monticello label out of Buffalo, New York. That is Woody Robinson and Group. Please Be Mine, All Mine. I won that it was a George Humbertson auction. I don't know what happened to George Humbertson. I haven't heard from him in a long, long time. Used to buy a lot of records from him, and not really a lot of group records, but lots of records from George. 2 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's flip over that Imaginations record requested by Paul Michel. This is the intended B-side produced by Bob Schwad. Again, it features Bobby Bloom on lead. December 1962. The Imaginations on the Ballad label. It's called Mama's Little Baby for Paul.
Mama, little baby, oh mama baby, mama little baby girl. Met her at a high school dance. It was the first sight true romance. She seemed so all alone, so I asked if I could take her home. We started on our way. I tried to kiss her to say, stop right here, listen to me. I gotta tell you about my mommy. Mama don't like me out with boys. Mama sometimes seem awful hard. She's so afraid I'll fall in love, and always singing on the baby girl. Ta-ta, mama, 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 baby. Mama, 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 baby. Mama, little baby. Yeah, mama, baby. Mama, 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 baby. Mama, 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 baby. Your mama, little baby. Say, baby, now listen to me. Oh, baby, gonna set you free. Please, please don't be so sad. Give me time to talk to your dad. I'll make him understand. Oh, baby, now I'm your man. And he'll realize that you're real wise. You're old enough and now to be my bride. She said, Mama don't like me out with boys. Mama sometimes seem awful hard. She's so afraid I'll fall in love, and always singing on the baby girl. Ta-ta, mama, 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 baby. Mama, 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 baby. Oh, mama, baby. Yeah, mama, baby. Mama, 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 baby. Mama, 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 baby. Mama, little baby.
There you go. That's going out to Paul Michel there, the sound of the Imaginations. He requested both sides of that 45. The A-side called Wait a Little Longer, Son. That was the A-side. That's the B-side, Mama's Little Baby. Again, Bobby Bloom on lead for that one. With their next release, I should say Bobby Bloom went on to form a group called The Expressions. They recorded for the Parkway label. That was in 1963. You got 53 there, Charlene. 63. It was unfortunate that, well, supposedly, I don't know, there's a couple stories here that Bobby Bloom accidentally shot himself on February 28th, 1974. He was 28 years old while cleaning a gun, and other people say that he was murdered, so they never really looked into it, unfortunately. Unfortunate ending to Bobby Bloom. Had a big hit in 1970 with Montego Bay. Well, it's time for Johnny G to hit the hay. That's it here for the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to these cool 45s. They're your requests here on the program. So if you have any requests or you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If I have the 45 and if I could find it, I will play it for you. And I missed 3 records, but today was not a good day. The last couple days have not been good. I almost gave up on the show. So I was not going to do the show. Charlene said, whatever you feel is right, because it was too much today to do. So I'm definitely not doing the show on Monday. I'm too beat to do that. But I may do it on October 2nd. We'll see how far I get, because I gotta make room in the garage for some of the stuff. I gotta get rid of it. So there's a lot of renovations going on here, and it might affect me on my show. So if I have the coming attraction coming up on YouTube, you'll know I'll be doing the show. But I was going to cancel it for this. We had a rainstorm that flooded all the roads here. It was like a disaster. I had water in the basement, and I had to mop that up. Not a lot. I got my 45s down there, but they're off the ground. But again, all this rain, this crappy weather here, what's going on here? I don't know. But I'll be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time till midnight. We're here. Here we go. A little bit of more overtime than I wanted to do. But again, I was 15 minutes late. So I apologize for that versus not doing the show. So take your pick. But anyway, I'll be back also on Wednesday night. If you like Soul 45s, if you like soul music, tune into because I have a lot of the UK listeners that tune into that soul show. So you got to tune in at 9 p.m. on Wednesday night. I'll be streaming here on Oldies and More Radio also, but the visual is right here on YouTube. And again, if you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe. And when I post up the show coming up, you can click that and it will notify you, but you have to be signed into YouTube. That's the thing. Again, I'm streaming on their site, and they control the copyright police. They have me, by the jugular. I got to do what they say. But anyway, that's it. I got to go. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Charlene, for your help. If you missed any of the show, you can go back here and you'll watch it. It'll be up as soon as I shut down, and then I'll post it up on my vinyltreasures.net. Sometimes it takes me some time to do it, but I eventually do post it. But we're closing the show with a flip side from, was it last week? No, on the September 16th show. It's from March 64. I played a request for Josue Perez. He requested the Capris, Caprees, the Capris on the Buccaneer label, not an easy record to find, If I Should Lose You. That was a cover of the Dream Lovers tune. I'm closing with the flip side of this. This is on the Buccaneer label. The group, well, I should say the label, maybe the group, is out of Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, no, Charlene has Jackson, Mississippi. They're called the Capris. It's on Buccaneer. It's called Where There's a Will. It's from March 64. That's the closer. I gotta go. I am beat. I am beat tonight. I'll see some of you on Wednesday night. If not, I'll see you this next Saturday right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show on YouTube or in overtime on Oldies and More Radio. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Since I first met you, I've always wanted you, but now you say I'm not the one for you. Go on out with that other guy. you start to go, my will is strong to have you someday. But deep in my heart, darling, I know you'll want me someday. Yes, I know, I know, I know, I know. My heart tells me so. Where there's a will, there's a way. It may take my life and my last dime. I may lose my pride, but I'll make you mine.